going on, Jeromes? It's a beautiful Friday morning. Sun is shining, birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for your daily Vikings news dump. That's right. Closing out the week strong. Also strong is the Vikings throwback uniforms, which I love. The Vikings, they haven't really changed up their uniforms much throughout history, but taking it back in the day, it's been felt good. It's been a while since we did it back in the day, but the gray face mask, the font, the arm stripes, it's beautiful, man. It's absolutely gorgeous. The war week 1 against the Bucks. Hopefully a better result this time around. Vikings announced so nice we'll wear them twice. The Vikings Classic is back for Monday Night Football on 11/27. The game against the Bears did not get flexed out on Monday night, so it's good news there. Also good news is the Vikings and their massive winning streak fueled by Creed. All right, so the whole thing was started by Garrett Bradbury, Kirkwood, JEROME, Ezekiel Cousins definitely pushed it forward. And the Vikings, much like the Texas Rangers, World Series champions, fueled by the anthem, Creed, higher. And Dayton Mizutani, our guy, Pioneer Press, he actually asked, hey, Justin Jefferson, were you a Creed fan growing up? Which, you know, quote, I was not. The only Creed I knew was the boxing movie. Which is, you know what, screw 5 years being retired. That's a Hall of Fame quote. Put him in Canton right now. Do it, man. Do it. And I understand the Creed wasn't everyone's cup of tea back in the day. Although I will stand on this hill. I will die on this hill. Creed's actually pretty good. Creed's actually pretty damn hilarious. And hilarious, I mean a pretty good band like Mark Tremonti. Like show me 10 better guitarists from late 90s, or wait, was it 90s? Yeah, my own prison, probably late 90s. Late 90s, 2000s, alt-rock bands. Show me 10 better guitarists. You can't do it. Then Kramer followed up with Bradbury, co-captain of the Vikings Creed fan club, says Jefferson will see the light. Although that's not a Creed song. He's been out a while. He'll catch up. JJ may have created his own prison while on injured reserve. But he is the one. That's right. And for Justin friggin' Jefferson, and he's eligible to return off of injured reserve. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe he won't on Sunday night. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. Sean Payton, stupid-ass Sean Payton, head coach of the Broncos for now until they fire his ass, are preparing for Justin Jefferson to play Sunday. Totally get it. Better be safe than sorry, but Jefferson was limited yesterday. Today, I think the Vikings would want him to go through a week of full practice before giving the green light. You don't need to put on the red light. I'm in a singing mode today, but I understand it. Where Justin Jefferson, they've been very... with injuries, they've been very cautious. And with JJ and the hamstrings are tough, man, especially when you have receivers going full bore. I mean, going downfield 20 miles an hour, just trying to get it. And, yeah, the Vikings have won 5 games without JJ. I think that certainly weighs into it, that they're relatively comfortable right now. And you don't want to lose a game in this league, but like we've said, out-of-conference games, especially road out-of-conference games, are – if there's no such thing as a meaningless game, but if there's anything close, it's this. Right, and also it's going to be cold and wet, probably not ideal for a return from a hamstring, but at home, 70 and sunny, indoors, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Monday night, getting extra day to heal up. I mean, that would make sense. And then you got the bye week right afterwards. But obviously it would be great to see JJ, and maybe it's a little bit of gamesmanship. Will they see him? Will they want to see him? Will they won't see him? Whatever. But with the Broncos, revenge game narratives. Now, we're probably even missing a couple, but Dalton Risner, come on up for the Risner, filling in very nicely at left guard. The Broncos decided not to re-sign him after he spent his entire career there, and the Vikings picked him up. He's been good to go at left guard. So, revenge game narratives for Dalton Risner. Also, Vikings O-line coach Chris Cooper was a great guard for the Broncos, as well as the former offensive line coach. Also, Justin Rascati spent some time with the Broncos. Curtis Modkins, Vikings running backs coach and run game coordinator, spent time with the Broncos. Hey, running backs and run game coordinator. We need to get this ish together. Also, Austin Schlutman, back in the day, spent time with the Broncos. And again, I'm sure we're missing a couple. whatever. Something that we're missing. I'm missing the point of this. So Adam Thielen, I love that he's getting his money. It's fantastic, man. But I don't get the point of this ad. So Lipton is getting in the turkey brining business since it's Thanksgiving. And Thielen tweeted this out: "Don't get caught spitting out dry turkey on TV like I did last year." So Thanksgiving game against the Patriots, Vikings won. You get the Madden turducken and you take a bite, and apparently it was dry. Whatever, because I mean, I'm sure it was roasted like 8 hours before the game. I'm actually more concerned about it just like sitting out there, man. But whatever. Brine your turkey with the official iced tea of the NFL, Lipton iced tea. The NFL is a marketing juggernaut because it's got like an official iced tea. I'm sure it's got an official hot tea. I'm sure it's got an official sizzurp. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yes, Lipton iced tea makes a perfect bird brine, so your turkey is juicy and flavorful, and we can all focus on family and football. Now, I do brine turkeys, poultry. Actually, brine like a lot of things. Pulled pork, pork shoulders. But the whole thing is like, I feel like, yes, brine, it does have a balance of salt and sugar, but I feel like the iced tea is a little bit too much sugar, unless you water it down. I wasn't really paying attention to the whole recipe, but it was kind of funny because Thielen went Salt Bay on it. Yeah, but I don't know. Man. Well, like, first off, no. Second of all, Thielen is from Minnesota, where, hey, I've lived here my whole life. I will call a spade a spade. Y'all don't like adding flavor to anything. Like, we as a state, well, actually not including me, you as a state are just slightly above the British. I might. Wait, no, it's Australian. British in terms of completely bland food. Like, honestly. So, we're getting into the weeds here, but I'm Korean Japanese, and Korean Japanese, especially the Koreans, definitely love them some spicy food, like a little bit of kimchi. Everything's got some fiery flavor to it, and it's great. And as a kid, I grew up on a very bland milquetoast Midwestern diet. Like, nothing was spicy, and everything was like meat, potatoes, and whatever. But soon as I became like 17, 18 and got to experience the world a little bit, I love Korean food. I love spicy food. And that's the thing. I think part of it is genetic. And me not being like Scandi, Minnesota, white, the whole thing is like, maybe it is you're genetically predisposed to for food preferences and tolerances. Like, also, we're really getting the weeds here. So as an Asian, most Asians are lactose intolerant, but most Scandinavians are and Germans are not. And if you're a good Norwegian or Scandinavian kid, you drink a lot of milk and you eat a lot of cheese. So Andy was having some gastronomical incidents when he was a kid. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I always felt like I had a cloud of farts just around. I don't know. Who knows, man. But now I get my milk from cashews. Just like, wake up every morning, just milk the cashews. There you go. What the hell are we talking about? So all right. So Minnesotans don't add flavor to anything. And number two, I mean, the Southerners in the Carolinas got to be looking at Thielen's like, how dare you not use sweet tea? I don't know, man. Is Lipton even popular in the South? Who knows? Or is it Arizona iced tea? Whatever. Something that's a little bit juicier, unlike that turkey. So Christian Watson, former NDSU Bison, drafted by the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers, and the Packers are struggling right now, and Christian Watson is ass thank you. Vikings fans page, our guys put this together. So Christian Watson's dad decided to clap back at Packers fans a little bit. So he posted this, then deleted it, but it was captured by Lambeau Land. Looks like it's an Instagram account, like fan account for the Packers. What amazes me about this Green Bay Packers fan base, and some of you reporters, quite frankly, is the fact that this team, which is literally the youngest in the NFL, was not expected to even compete this season, yet have found a way to be in every game, except for the Vikings game. You all are about as bad as it gets, and I played in Philly with their schizophrenic fans. Quite frankly, you all were awful to Aaron Rodgers when he took over for Favre, and pretty much any time he wasn't perfect on the field. Exclamation point. You wanted Devontae Adams to be cut by his second season. Well, frankly, Devontae Adams looked like a wasted second-round pick out of Fresno State for a while. And you somehow somehow think you deserve better than what this team is. I love it. I love it. You all don't deserve a damn thing but to support the players who are out there playing their asses off if you choose to be fans. Exclamation point. And I love it. Like, this is the... I mean, we Vikings fans are concerned about our own stuff right now, getting off the mat from 0-3 to 1-4. But I mean, this is delicious. This is amazing. Where you have Christian Watson, who's drafted to be the star player, star receiver for Jordan Love. He's dropping passes all over the place. Romeo Doubs dropping passes all over the place. Jaden Reed dropping passes all over the place. Everybody dropping passes all over the place. And then Jordan Love is throwing game-ending interceptions. But the Packers are down bad. The fans are restless. They've had 30 years of alleged MVP caliber quarterback play, and it's just amazing. I loving every minute of it. Also, have you noticed that? So you probably have Packer fans, Packer fan friends, Packer fan family. I mean, it seems like they've gotten really quiet. They've just gotten really quiet. It happens, man. But either way, Christian Watson, I don't know, is his ass going to get traded in the offseason? I mean, we'll take him. I mean, it's the Packers wide receiver to Minnesota pipeline. I mean, like, can he be Greg Jennings? Like, hey, Christian Watson, we could use a wide receiver 5. Like, how's your punt cutting ability? I don't know. Speaking of, I don't have a transition, but Joe Burrow. So the Bengals limit hot water because there was a clip posted by their social media team. Burrow getting off the bus wearing looks like a wrist brace, right? And Joe Burrow wasn't on the injury report, and and then Joe Burrow injured his wrist in the Baltimore game, and then exited, and then it was a mess from then on out, right? But I actually think that it seemed to be a pre-existing injury that was not on the injury report, and the Bengals should be in trouble because, again, the injury report is not so that coaches can be like, oh, I'm trying to trick my opponent, blah, 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 which is something that I love about Kevin O'Connell. He doesn't play those BS games. Zimmer did. Zimmer did back in the day. But Kevin O'Connell, like, he'll list guys that are full participants in practice, but he'll put them on there just in case. Just in case. That's why I don't see them playing games with Justin Jefferson. I don't see them playing games with KJ or whoever's on the injury report, right? But you saw it with the Falcons not adding Bijan Robinson to their injury report when he got sick, and then Arthur Smith was like, hur. But again, the injury report is not for teams to play games. The injury report was literally created so that there isn't any inside information on injuries for gambling. And that's exactly what it's for. Like, the league won't admit it, but that is what it is for, so that there is an inside edge. Like, hey, if you knew that Joe Burrow and his throwing hand and wrist wasn't right before the game, do you think that might matter in terms of if you took Bengals plus 3.5, or if you were betting the Bengals team total, or if you're betting the total on the game, or if you were doing fantasy props? Do you think that matters just a little bit? And the Bengals have to get hammered for this. Like, they have to lose a draft pick for this because, again, the injury report is literally only for gambling and fantasy. And with the league going all in with gambling and fantasy, they can't have this. They cannot have this. They can't have teams dicking around and playing games with injury reports. But either way, the Vikings do play the Bengals here in about a month. And, I mean, depending on the severity of that wrist or thumb or hand, whatever issue Burrow's going on, could it be Jake Browning revenge game? Vikings Rona night practice legend Jake Browning. Could be, man. And also, this is actually a hilarious story. So Dov Kleeman put this up. Fox's Carissa Thompson reveals that she makes up sideline reports during NFL games sometimes. When a coach wouldn't come out to talk to her at halftime, or when it was too late and she didn't want to screw up the real report. Now, Carissa Thompson, sideline report, it's great. Now, some people, chimed in on this like, oh, sideline reporters aren't important. They're whatever. And sometimes they're important, sometimes they're not. Like, sometimes they convey real information and give the inside scoop from the sidelines, and there's journalistic integrity. But also, I love seeing, like, every single media person and every single sideline reporter just completely, like, people's elbow Carissa Thompson off the top rope. Like, people are going to town on Carissa Thompson, and completely, I think it's a little bit too much. Like, she said it on a podcast. Maybe she said it tongue-in-cheek, a little bit in jest, but people, you always have to check tone. And her tone, I did not see her I did not think that this is like a full-on admission. It's like, hey, this is what I do. I'm a joke to my profession. But a lot of people took it that way. But, I mean, to some degree, like sideline reporting, especially when you're talking to the coach, and, so you come back from halftime, Fox or CBS, whatever. It's like, hey, Coach LaFleur said that the Packers have to play better and stop playing like ass because they're playing like ass. And if they continue to play like ass, they're going to lose. Back to you in the booth. I mean, sometimes it's like that. But in terms of like actually finding stuff out, like injuries, really important, like going into medical tent, what's going on, conversation, like tone of the team. I mean, that is important. And, that is, that does take journalistic integrity. But I don't know, man. I feel like Carissa Thompson's getting too much flack on this, but we'll see what happens. Apparently, she didn't talk about it on Thursday Night Football, but who knows? Who knows, man? Anyways, that's it. That was extended Vikings news. That was like therapeutic, especially that middle part. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.